Interim head coach Mickey Joseph talking live after his first win since taking over that position, and it was really needed. The Huskers hit the reset button during the bye week last week, and they really were hoping some of the changes that Joseph would make would carry over to the field. One of those changes was Bill Busch taking over the defensive reins the rest of the year for the Huskers. Good start after the defense forced a 3-and-out. The Husker offense went to work. Casey Thompson drops a dime to Oliver Martin. Pretty 34-yard pitch and catch puts Nebraska up 7-0 after the first. In the second quarter, Chubba Purdy in at quarterback for Thompson. He gets drilled and fumbles. The Hoosiers there to pounce in the end zone, and that's a touchdown. Game tied at 7 just like that. With the offense sputtering, who steps up? How about the Huskers special teams? Chris Kolarovic blocks the punt, and it's Malcolm Hartzog, the freshman, returning it for the touchdown. First block punt touchdown for Nebraska since 2009. This one puts the Huskers up 14-7. The Husker ground game got things going. Jaquez Yant hasn't had many touches, but takes that one in for 6. Nebraska with a 21-7 lead, but the Hoosiers claw their way back with 14 straight points. Sean Shivers from a yard out, 21-all heading into halftime. Scoreless third quarter, so we move ahead to the fourth. Huskers retake the lead. Thompson with a 71-yard bomb to who else? Trey Palmer. 8 catches, 157 yards for the junior. 28-21 Nebraska. Huskers stretch their lead to 14 later in the fourth. Thompson on the keeper caps a 6-minute drive. 35-21 Nebraska with under 7 to go. And the Huskers hold on from there. The defense pitches a second-half shutout, and Nebraska gets its first Big Ten win since October 2nd of last year. The Huskers now in a 6-way tie for first place in the Big Ten West. Standing by with reaction to that much-needed win, our Andy Kendi. He's live inside Memorial Stadium. Andy?
Yeah, something about Big Ten home openers, Matt, unbelievable. Last year was Northwestern. This year with an entirely different leadership group leading this team. The Huskers get it done against Indiana. I'm here with Big Red Zone insider Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com. Sean, first, your overall thoughts about this game. Much needed win, and really every facet of this team contributed.
Yeah, first of all, unbelievable atmosphere for a team in the situation Nebraska's in, and the team responded, got the win. We saw big explosive plays. We saw ground control on offense with Anthony Grant. I think that was a huge key going into this game. And I thought the defense just looked better. They held Indiana, Andy, under 300 yards when, consider Nebraska was ranked towards the bottom of the country at over close to 600 yards a game. That was a huge improvement on defense.
A great start for the Huskers. Oliver Martin and Casey Thompson connect early on, really set the tone to get this crowd into it.
And Nebraska's been a great opening start play script team all year. Mark Whipple and those guys have put together just phenomenal opening drives. The game kind of settled in, but that was a great way to start.
And then some weirdness ensued. Casey Thompson gets benched, for lack of a better term, and then Chubba Purdy comes in and promptly gives up the football after a sack. And all just like that, after the Huskers dominated the first 14 minutes of the game, we're tied.
Yeah, and you saw an exchange there on the sidelines with Mark Whipple and Casey Thompson going at it back and forth after he took that sack on 3rd and 2. But you heard Mickey Joseph just now say that it was a designed series for Chubba Purdy. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but it turned the game. There's no doubt that was a game-changing moment. Nebraska was able to overcome it.
And Casey Thompson did come back to the game and played so tough down the stretch. Big special teams play. We haven't said that in recent memory, but a huge play. Chris Kolarovic getting the block.
Yeah, Nebraska gets their first block punt touchdown score since 2009 at Baylor. And I was there. It was Justin Blatchford. So it's been a while since Nebraska has actually blocked a punt, got a touchdown. Usually, Andy, when you do that in a game, you find a way to win, and that was a big moment.
No doubt about that. And how about a weird sequence of events? Back-to-back plays, Turner Corcoran with personal foul penalties. He gets ejected right before the end of the first half. That was a big turning point, I thought, because it really made the Huskers change their approach in the second half.
We saw 3 colors tonight, red, white, and yellow. And we saw a lot of yellow in this game. That was a crazy sequence because the play before, Turner Corcoran just simply was trying to pull the guys off his quarterback, protecting Casey Thompson. They flagged him for that. Then he essentially, as I talked to Matt Millen, the color analyst, he goes, he just tickled the guy. He just tickled the guy, and they threw him out of the game for it. He goes, it was amazing that the officials ejected him for that. They said it was a punch, and if you punch somebody in a college football game, you're out.
23 penalties between the two schools tonight, 12 by Nebraska for 111 yards. And yeah, I can't imagine that Matt Millen took this ejection too lightly. That's not how they used to play when Matt played linebacker at Penn State. And I got to say something about Trey Palmer. He was outstanding tonight. He was a dominant, probably him and Anthony Grant, best players on the field.
Yeah, they turned it on. Indiana was down their top 2 receivers in this game. They were limited in what they could do in the passing game. We knew going in the Hoosiers were going to throw it over 50 times. They were down a couple guys. When you took them out of it, I really did think Palmer and Grant were the difference makers for Nebraska. And I thought the defense, with the number of 3-and-outs they forced, that was such a game changer to get that many sudden, quick 3-and-outs by the defense.
And great plays by the defense. Luke Reimer with a huge interception, a huge hit by him. Now, oh, by the way, Nebraska's 2-3 overall, but tied. It was a 6-way tie for first place in the Big Ten West. There are 6 teams out of the 7 at 1-1. How about that?
The West is just a mess. I mean, there's no other way to put it right now. With Wisconsin's loss today, Minnesota's loss today, Iowa's loss. We're back to square one. I mean, Nebraska, as crazy as it sounds, is back in the conversation with a very winnable game on the road next week at Rutgers.
Yeah, and that winnable game is a Friday night game, but for now, this crowd of 86,804, the 386th straight sellout, and a streak that goes back to 1962, leaves on homecoming Saturday. Pretty happy. It's going to be a nice ride home for many coming back to Omaha. Huskers win. They beat Indiana 35-21 for Sean Callahan. I'm Andy Kennedy. Let's send it back to you in the studio, Matt.